Hello, my dear audience. We love you so much. That's why every time when there is the moment, we gather all the information for you to be referential to your day-to-day life, which is uplifting that I support. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the East-West show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Batali, which is which my jacket represents. That's the Italian world-renowned men's suit using nanotechnology that makes the fabric water-resistant. Spill water, water goes away, and the material itself is stretchable. You can find that. All right. Paul, thank you for sponsoring. Back to the show. With my good friend Ken Hamming, good writer and a philosopher, and a CPA for life, and of course, in the Godfather kind, we're analyzing the 100-day plan for Donald Trump,
yes,
the
sir.
president-elect. We know for some time this is still now. He is a very controversial figure, very controversial public figure, and now as president-elect, and he has lots of to overturn. Yes. By putting up another image, a different image.
Right.
When I'm talking about that, I'm talking about the fact in the past there are more often than not moments when he put up an image which is not so positive in my eye. Okay.
I think less often than not, but okay.
Come on,
yeah.
You always argue. Come on, yeah. All right, now, one by one, we're touching base with you about Donald Trump's 100-day plan. And his second step would be hiring freeze on all federal employees.
Right.
To reduce federal workforce through
attrition.
Except military and safety and public safety. Right. Okay. What's your comment about that?
On a previous show we did together, I said that I recommend that you replace anybody that retires or dies. You do not replace them until you get a 10% reduction in the federal force. And maybe this is what he's talking about, because all that would mean is those people would have to work 11% harder to get the same work done. They pretty much have job security, unlike you and I. Okay, and there's no pressure to be efficient. So there'd be real easy, have a 10% less workforce. There's 2.7 million federal employees. That's a lot, okay? And particularly with so many people out of work.
Does hiring freeze mean that so much, that's it?
You don't hire anymore.
You
people
don't
that die,
hire anymore.
None, except in the military.
Exactly. How about people getting sick? And how about people are dying?
Well, you don't replace dead people, okay, and you don't hire new people. You don't grow the government.
And the number is going to be reduced, only reduced, because people are dying.
And retiring. A lot of people retire. And once in a while, someone gets
retiring fired. Or getting sick all the time.
Well, sick is,
so
right.
Realistically, you really have to make it up when that happens.
No, you don't. No,
you balance the numbers.
You don't have to make it up. You don't need that many employees. We need less federal employees.
Okay, now, let me try to understand you more.
Yes, sir.
Only by doing so, we're talking about doing it only to a certain extent.
Well, right now, those that die.
For example, we could probably still survive with 75% of employees.
I'm sure we could.
Now let the 25%, take care of themselves as time goes by.
Right, but that's pretty right. Yeah, right. But this is a smooth transition to a lower number of federal employees, and the work can get done.
I have to convince myself that it is quite something new. It's something never heard of, because no president-elect started from that angle by looking at White House, looking at the government employees, the size of it especially, the cost of it in regardless. I mean, needless to say.
But Jack, as a businessman, a CPA for 40 years, I've had so many clients that had to lay off people, that don't hire anymore, that have a need to reduce the number of employees for one reason or another. It's the same concept should apply to our government.
Of course. At that level, when you hire somebody, you hire him or her from head to toe. right?
You're stuck.
Salary,
Yeah.
pension, medical,
Yeah.
family, children, head to toe, in and out.
You know, Jack, the area around Washington, D.C. is the richest area per capita in our country. And that means that these public servants that are mostly serving themselves are getting very rich off of the system. The system's not desired to make people rich by working for the people of America. And so that's what this is a part of cleaning the swamp.
All right, okay, all right. All right, good. Well, my audience is, I don't know how you think about. It is like running a country is like running a family.
That's right.
Okay.
It's a family.
You really want to cut down your costs to make sure that your ends meet. And the later end of the day, if you find out there's a little surplus, you really want to see that, well, probably that's a result of you cutting your expenses.
That's right.
And then you get encouraged and you go back to cut more, something like that.
That's right.
I adore that only because I'm from a poor family.
No, you're financially responsible. You are. I know
good.
you.
Thank you for
And
saying
that's
that.
and everybody.
And next thing, we're going to give some comment on this one, his third one. It says, a requirement that for every new federal regulation, right, 2 existing regulations must be eliminated.
Right.
What's your comment on that?
Well, I have a little bit of disagreement with it because I want to eliminate a lot more than 2 for every new regulation. I think every regulation should stand on its own as whether it's worthy to be maintained or to be eliminated. So I don't like the relationship of, okay, 2, you got to get rid of 2 to do 1. But it's a start. It's a start, and it's a good start. We are over-regulated. You'll see later when it gets into healthcare about getting the FDA, Federal Drug Administration, to approve products in a faster way.
Okay, all right.
So I don't like 2 to 1. I think is too low. Okay, I think we're way over-regulated.
Well,
but it's good.
Well, thank you for that comment because I, to some extent, agree with you. I mean, partially. And to me, my take is that by principle, it is right because you really want to simplify the government.
Right.
You really want to simplify everything, right? Yeah. And once said by Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, that simplicity is the soul of wisdom.
Yes, sir.
That's
yes,
what
sir.
he says,
That's
right?
right.
And so is the case to government. However, what I do not agree, what I disagree is the part, it is politics, it's not a mathematics, right? So mathematically, it doesn't work 1 by 2 or 2 by 1. Like say, hey, you go to a store, you buy 1 pair of shoes, get the other 2 for free.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that. It's not.
Yeah.
So in this, I could say, especially sounds Trump, because he would like to say something in a unconventional way.
Sure.
This is so unconventional. The spirit, the theory is right, yet the statement is wrong.
Yeah, I don't like the relationship, mathematical relationship. But it's going in the right direction. We're over-regulated.
It is going in the right direction, but mathematically it doesn't support him because it's not a mathematical problem.
Well, we'll see what happens. He needs the support of Congress for any of these things to happen.
I know,
Right.
of course. Now suppose if he makes one law at Congress, say we impose a term limit, all right?
Right.
And then 2 others need to go.
Well,
Number 1, we're going to ask which 2?
but that's not a regulation, though.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's put it in regulation.
Yeah.
Okay. In the regulation area, so suppose if I make 1, 2 to go, and then people would automatically ask which 2.
Well, that's
and
right.
And why?
Well, that's why they have to work together and plan.
Okay. Anyway,
That's
you and I both disagree, but I disagree from the angle that it is not a mathematical logic.
Right.
Right. And you disagree to the fact that we need more to go rather than 2.
Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. My dear friends, we probably have to do another show by the pace that we go.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay. Let's do another. And we want to do it in full length, to the depth, right, of each of his plan. Let's see if that works. Right. For example, this one, I find that you probably have found already and he does that too. Not exactly work and not exactly right, even though the direction he's going is right.
The direction
Am
is
I right?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay,
Less
my
government.
dear audience, ladies and gentlemen, with me today is my good friend Ken Hamming, a wonderful friend, a backbone kind of friend. He's been with me for many, many years. Well, we're not paying him, all right, anyway.
Too bad.
Okay, he just wants to express himself, all right? He has the hobby of doing that. And we'll take a very short moment now. When we come back, we'll continue finding more with this controversial president-elect with his 100-day plan. Stay with us. Hello, dear friends, my dear audiences, my dear lovely audience. We love you so much. And we try, I and my team, whole team, are working for you on the 24/7, 365 basis because we know we belong to the community. And the community meaning the environment that we live in, which is a beautiful land, the land of freedom, liberty, a land of opportunities, yet we need a president.
We need a president, yeah. We need something.
We need a president. Okay, I'm not saying a president is the king, is the lawmaker. I'm saying that you, with the executive branch, you have to need somebody who guides the executive branch so that the executive branch goes the right direction,
Yes.
right? Now that we have seen the past 8 years, we have seen enough of the third bathrooms.
Yes, we have.
We have seen enough of the legalization of same-sex marriage.
Yes, we have.
And probably it's time to see a little change, little reverse. I don't know. It is reversible or not, but well, everything can be done, could be possible.
Nothing's
follow
impossible.
follow that philosophy. Nothing is impossible.
Right.
Okay. Now, with Mr. Donald Trump, the president-elect, we are talking about the 100-day plan recently announced. With me, my good friend Ken Hamming, a wonderful writer, wonderful philosopher, are sharing the analysis, or we dissect it. Let's dissect it.
We are.
Piece by piece. Let's dissect
Onion
it.
layer by layer.
See it layer by layer. See if that works.
Yeah.
Some you may find not realistic. Some you may find not practical.
Right, good point.
Some you may find, oh my God, it's a good point. Let's do it.
We hope
right?
so, yes.
And some you may find not only is a good point, but practical.
Yeah.
Well, we may have done it a long time ago.
We could have or should have.
Yeah, high time we did it, right? Okay, like
That's
that.
exactly right.
Okay, let's move on to the fourth. Okay, a 5-year ban on White House and congressional officials becoming lobbyists
Right.
after they leave government service.
See, this is where the insiders that have all the connections to the highest levels of our government then can go out with a free enterprise company and have the influence, almost the pay to play. They get paid a lot of money for their access to the decision makers in government. That is not healthy.
That
I love
including
this.
speeches,
No.
public speeches?
No, and I don't know why nobody gets paid these huge amounts of money for public speeches unless they expect something in return, which is like Wall Street.
Why doesn't it include?
Well,
Because to me,
yeah,
it
I like
is,
that.
To
Let's
me,
add
it is. It makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
if this forbids also
Yeah.
a guy taking a guy or lady or whoever taking a higher ranking office after. I mean,
after service.
After that service goes to the
Yeah.
public.
But then you get in, then you start getting into the First Amendment of freedom of speech, and it would be difficult to ban.
No. Freedom of speech has nothing to do with the pay to play.
Well, I understand, but it's very I know it's very blurred lines.
Okay, now.
But I like adding
if you
that.
say
if
if
you could,
you say This does not include the public speech,
I love
speeches.
it. Yeah.
What does it refer to?
It refers to going to one of the lobbyist groups and then represent the lobbyist groups with your connection. And so basically that is pay to play because they're getting paid very good salaries for delivering favors from the government.
That's even better pay.
Oh, way better than the government. Yes, right. Yeah. Okay, so it's so I really like this. And also you'll see also about limiting foreign governments having ways of influencing our elections. So these are good things, I think. He doesn't want people to do government, federal service, and then go out and benefit outrageously from their connections and in the government. I love it. I do really support this.
Well, now that we have to be realistic, ourselves, and yourself, right? Now that the Republicans, the GOP, has won both houses, the Senate and the representative, do you think this kind of a proposal would work faster, better, or easier?
Well, I think it would work faster, better, and easier. The problem is the congressmen and the senators, these are the people that go out and get a job after they leave service. They don't get reelected or something, and they benefit from it. So they're limiting their own future, which I think they should do if they put America before their own self-interest.
In other words, it is a blow not only to Democrats,
oh, yeah,
but also to GOP.
It's bipartisan,
right?
yeah.
Okay, now my real question is that will the majority of the House, which are GOPs, kind of in support, in favor with him for that? Because you're talking about my own future, for example.
Right. Well, number one, if I was Mr. Trump, I would get rid of the McConnell and Paul Ryan that run the Senate and the House because I don't think they're committed.
McConnell's everywhere.
I know, and I don't like that gentleman. He's a Republican. He's been there. He's done whatever he's done. But he's also, he did some very good things by obstructing the last Supreme Court justice nomination until a new president hopefully.
That he did.
Yeah, so that's good. But otherwise, he like term limits, he said, well, that won't be on the Senate calendar. I mean, sometimes he can be as nasty as Harry Reid, as bad as Harry Reid, who's unbelievable if anybody knows.
Harry Reid is very less heard of these days.
Well, he's he's retiring, but he's maybe the nastiest tongue in America.
I don't know that. I don't know.
But the things he calls
we're
names.
Not criticizing anybody now.
Yeah,
we're talking about Donald Trump.
So I think it might be hard to get that through, and I think it should be gotten through. So we're going to find out how self-centered both parties are of the people in Congress and the Senate, how self-preserving they are as opposed to serving the public.
Okay, in conclusion to this, it is a good proposal.
Tremendous.
Right, it is a good plan.
It helps clean the swamp.
Sense, that will stop corruption.
Another
way to stop corruption.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Okay, I agree with that.
Thank you.
And I'm only worrying about the practicality.
Right.
By practicality, I'm worrying about the majority of GOPs who are talking about their own interests.
Right.
Right.
And Democrats. There's no reason the Democrats shouldn't support this the same way.
I do not argue with you. Right. There are Democrats doing the same thing, thinking the same way.
Of course.
I'm talking about the majority of both houses who are Republicans now, who are also concerned about their own. Right. Okay. Now, let's skip on that one.
Yes, sir.
Good. Let's see. Number 5, right? A lifetime ban on White House officials lobbying, on behalf of a foreign government.
Yeah, it's very similar to what we just talked about, and I'm 100% supportive of it.
No, there's a big difference. You're talking about lobbying for other government.
Right, and I'm completely opposed to that. I like the suggestion, in others, what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't think they should be out. I think if we're American citizens, we should be lobbying for America, and not for other governments, because there's any successful lobby on behalf of some other government has some weakening impact on America because it serves their needs more than ours. So that's my philosophy.
You want to give us an example, please, about lobbying for other governments?
Well, for example, when we had Secretary Clinton, America, I can't believe this, gave up 20% of our uranium stockpile to Russia for money, okay, for money to the Clinton Foundation. And how can you, that's a component of nuclear weapons. How can we give up components of nuclear weapons? I don't understand it.
That sounds espionage.
It's something I'm not smart enough to understand why we would ever do that.
I see. So you were saying the 5-year ban.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So here.
Yeah, the first one's 5 year, another's a lifetime ban. Yeah.
Lifetime ban.
There's another one. Yeah.
In other words, there's no way like. Okay, does have a lifetime ban here.
Yeah, there's a 2-year ban, a 5-year ban, and a lifetime ban.
Okay,
for different little degrees. And honestly, these people that say have worked, they were talking about working in the White House and that, where you have all the connections in the world, and then these countries come, hey, let me use your connections. If you served America at the highest level in the White House, Congress, Senate, whatever, you should not then serve another master from another country. In my common sense.
I really hate to say this, but I can't control myself. It's a by the way subject. Lots of people in the whole United States or whole world is talking about wrongdoing of the email thing.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Very serious.
Of using private email to deal with public affairs or something, government business. But there are very few people who ask, why would she do that? Given the fact, a lifetime political career, given the fact somebody on that position for that many years, would he or she not be able to know that it is a violation?
They absolutely know. She absolutely knew.
Now,
no
why?
denial.
Why? Right? For example,
just to keep secrets.
If I have something to hide, of course I got to do it. Right?
Or none of us should really hide too much. You know,
No. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in it. Just for example, I do it only when I have something to hide.
Yes, sir. Right. Exactly.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
For example, my email has no password.
Okay.
My cell phone has no block.
Okay.
Right? Anybody can get my social security, driver license, or home address, telephone number, everything, anything, because I have nothing to hide.
Right.
If you want to see my bud, please
be
my guest. Right? Something like that.
Turn the desk around.
Yeah, sure. And that will, if I try to hide something,
there's a reason.
I have something. Right?
That's right.
Okay, anyway, that's like I said, is a by the way thing. I'm not wasting time on that. So with my good friend Ken Hamming, we're having a good time because we're dissecting the 100-day plan for Mr. Donald Trump, President-elect. May God bless him.
Yes.
With me, Ken Hamming is helping us a lot with the community by sharing his beautiful, wonderful brain, shedding light on issues all the time. And my dear audience, let's take a very short moment out. Like I said, by the pace we go, we want to finish all these within 48 minutes. We have to schedule the second or even the third show talking about the same thing. I find myself devoted. So stay with us. Hello, my dear folks. Welcome back to the East-West show, from the East to the West. The short term East-West is taken from the longer term from the East to West. Why do we name it from the East to West? Because if you want to be fair, you want to look at things with not only a Western concept, but Eastern concept. Okay, by that, you find yourself an international man. You can see things from different angles. Okay, we want to see through ourselves. we want also elevate ourselves to a certain level, certain magnitude, to look down upon us, see, yeah, is this what you're doing?
In a relationship.
Kind of, right? Okay.
And I'm smiling because
yeah,
if this
sure.
was my show, it'd probably be from the west to the east.
Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that's a recommendation, right? And someday we use from east to west, someday we'll use from west to east. Anyway, okay, now. Thank you. Well, you're welcome back to the From the East to West show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Batali, the internationally renowned men's shoes. My jacket is one of them. For sponsoring that, it really shows some love to the community, to the American uplifting time. Right?
Yes, sir.
So now, Paul, thank you very much for sponsoring. We go back to our show. To continue, Cam, my friend Ken Hemming, a wonderful writer, philosopher, and the Godfather.
Yes, sir.
Godbrother. Okay. Now, we're sharing lots of, I say, common ground.
Yes, we are.
Right?
Yeah,
Even
with
though
common interest for the
even
future.
though I do not agree with it 100%.
Right.
I have found it, even to those areas that I disagree, it was logically right.
Reasonable.
Real reasonable, right? Now, let's move on. Of course, they belong to the same category. Okay, number 6 says a complete ban
Yeah.
for foreign lobbyists raising money for American elections.
Right, because that just gives them more
Oh,
power.
this is so dirty.
It's very
This
dirty.
is so dirty.
Filthy.
So filthy. Yeah, I know that. So
Right.
filthy. And we are not sure about how much everybody does their fundraising,
Right.
their money collections, or whatever, but we smell very, smells very fishy already
It does.
about foreign money involved in some election.
Right.
Am I right?
Can you imagine us doing that in America, going to try to, of course, a lot of countries don't even have an election.
What does he mean by a complete ban? Was there a ban, the incomplete?
From here to eternity, that foreign money will not be accepted and used for purposes of advertising or impacting
No.
an election.
You're talking
That's what
about
it
the by time span, right? I'm
Sure.
talking about by extent,
Disallowing money to come
horizontally.
in.
Horizontally,
Right.
you're looking this way, right?
Yeah.
Time long, say, hey, forever.
Yeah.
That's a complete ban.
Just
right?
like
complete ban rhetorically might refer to the length of time.
right.
Also, it
And-
might refer to the width.
Exactly.
Am I right?
Yeah.
By width, though, when he says a complete ban, what does he mean by
Money
width?
is not allowed to, will not be allowed to come into America to be used to influence elections through advertising for bribery or for whatever.
Am I right if I say the word complete ban, when it refers to the width, is talking about foreign money anyways?
Anywhere, anyway, yes.
Anyways,
Just a
right?
complete, money cannot be used for that purpose from
As
foreign
long
countries.
as the foreign money
Yeah, can't be used.
can be used for election.
Right, and I love that. I mean, it shouldn't be anyway. That's corruption.
That I find myself in support.
Yeah, me too.
That I find myself in favor of that because it's smart.
Makes sense.
It is a way to keep America, America,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
It is a way to keep our freedom, freedom.
That's right.
It is a way to keep our liberty, liberty, our free land, right?
I love that.
So, they can invest in us, no problem.
Sure.
Yeah, we need money, right? They can come spend zillions of dollars in us, right? Fixing our freeways, for example, right?
Yeah, sure.
No politics.
Yeah.
American politics does not need any fixing money from foreign countries.
If they can build,
Am I right?
if they can help our infrastructure at a rate less than us doing it ourselves, and they make a profit, hallelujah.
Once again, I'm asking the same thing, all
Yeah.
right? I'm asking the same thing. Would that be realistic? Would that be practical?
I think it's realistic in terms of if they were still to do it, they'd have to be more clever, they'd have to be more evil, more corrupt, and hide it.
I agree. Yes, I agree.
And they will try, and they will try.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. It is realistic,
Uh-huh.
but is it practical?
It's worthy. See, it's the benefit.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the worthiness. I'm talking about the
Right.
practicality. By practicality, does that mean exactly the same situation like the previous two, that he has to deal with own GOP members?
I think this one might be
Who are the majority of the both houses?
right, but the foreign money's not going directly to the senators and the congressmen. It's going to other ways of influencing the election.
Of course.
So they're not as negatively impacted by it. And I think most people don't want foreign money to influence the government of our country.
The thing is that even the money may come in a different disguise,
Right.
At the very end, you really, if you do really want to spend time in it, you will find where it goes, or
Right.
who it goes to.
Right. We have to be alert and aware of that
All right,
possibility.
all right. Now, you don't want to see kind of establish a guideline at the further end. You would just want to set a very guideline at the very bottom.
Yeah, right.
Yeah?
Right.
You check everybody's pocket.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's just like a
And
wall around the
then-
country.
Yeah, all right. And then that's it.
That money can't come in. Right.
Money can come in. All right, very good. So we still have time to move on for
Yes,
one
sir.
more, please.
Let's do it.
I really want to squeeze it.
Let's do
okay,
it.
now, he has also the following 7 actions to protect American workers. I mean, the above being the anti-corruption
Right.
bills,
That's cleaning the swamp stuff.
anti-corruption plans,
Right.
and then to domestic, to benefit the American people.
95 million
He
people,
has
a lot of work.
7 plans.
Right.
One of them, the top says, he says in the first, I will announce my intention to renegotiate NAFTA
Right.
or withdraw from the deal under Article 2205.
Correct.
Right? We all know what NAFTA is, right? So why would he renegotiate from NAFTA? Why would he say, according to Article 2205, if time is necessary, we may withdraw?
He believes, and I agree, but I don't agree from a position of great in-depth knowledge. But okay, that America is not benefiting equally to Canada and Mexico in this agreement.
North
And that it's
America
serving
Free Trade Agreement.
Right.
Right.
It's Canada, America, Mexico. And we are, and he believes, and I agree, superficially at least, that we're not getting the best deal out of it, and we're not getting at least a fair deal out of it. So, and I do believe the American people, he says, I've got his book, The Art of the Deal, which is all about negotiating.
Art of the Deal, yes.
And we're going to get negotiation. I think some Republican and Democratic presidents in the past have just sort of laid down and let us be rolled over, and we're not tough enough in the negotiation. We are the strongest, greatest country, I think, on planet Earth, and we have strength in our ability to negotiate if we have intelligence on how to do it. And I believe he will, and he will be bringing in non-insiders, outsiders that are business people that have made their life and livelihood through business negotiating. And so I think I'm excited about it. I don't know what they intend to do, what they want to do, but there's a new sheriff in town, and we'll see how this works.
The New York Central Park project might be an example about his negotiability.
Okay.
If I may correct word that way.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's a good word.
For that, I recall about 3 or 4 months ago at the National Center, Donald Trump made a speech talking about Americans should learn to walk away from negotiation.
That's right. No, absolutely. Look, I've bought houses, I've bought cars, I know when to walk away. And then what happens, it's either done forever or you get a phone call 2 hours later or 2 weeks later. Well, let's talk some more. You've got to walk away. You can't sit there and just beg till something. That's what we did in the Iran deal. We just sat there begging, giving them everything they wanted, which was insanity.
That's how exactly I was trapped in by Cadillac.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
by the way, Cadillac has the most stupid navigation system.
Yeah, well, we're stupid because I've got my car with my navigation. I don't even know how to use it.
When I got there and I liked the car, I told them how much I liked the car. I'm an honest man.
It's a great
all
car.
I don't lie. It's a great car.
Yeah.
I like it. And then here's the contract that I signed.
Yeah.
Right. And 1 month and a half later, I found out for the same thing, they got it. They do it at 490.
Yeah, that I don't. Yeah.
Whereas I paid 620.
Well,
So-
maybe one's 24 months, one's 36. Anyway, I know.
No.
Leasing
Exactly.
things.
Exact same model, same year, same features, same everything. A month and a half later, I found out from 620 to 490.
It is called buyer
That's how
beware.
much-
We've got to know when
that's
to
how
strike.
much me for not being able to walk away from negotiation.
Yeah, that might be true.
Cost me.
Take me with you next time.
Yeah, probably next time I should do
I'm
that.
serious.
And when I'm about to sign my next lease, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this time I learned,
Take me
so
with.
620, no, I will not do it. I'll do 490 or whatever
Take
you want.
me with.
And then get it or leave it, and then I walk away.
Yeah.
Right? They will, Mr. Chow, please.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, let's hit the American workers. We
All
got to
right,
protect
good.
it because we got to protect
For
ourselves
that
now.
small example,
Yeah.
I show my understanding about learning to walk away from tradies.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And
That's right.
if you do not agree, we
That's
walk
right.
away.
Right.
Let's make a
pact.
A pact.
Okay.
Do not agree. You do not agree. I walk away. Something like that.
Totally support that.
All right. Very good. All right. I like that. Yeah. You do not agree. I shall walk away. Like
That's
that.
right.
Okay. My dear audience, today with my good friend Ken Hamming, even though I finished only less than 1/5 of the whole thing that I needed to go with Ken Hamming, I feel very happy because we finally got a chance to get on something that sounds very serious. That is the 100-day plan for Mr. Donald Trump, our president-elect. I was not a fan of him until like a week ago. Not because he was elected. You know me. I'm a stubborn man.
Right.
I do have my own take, right?
Right.
Not until I read two things. Number one, I read somebody's wrongdoing.
Yes.
Number two, I read this.
Yeah. This is right doing.
So when I compare these two,
Yeah.
I see exactly what I'm talking about. My dear audience, we will do it in next show, continue from where we left. And we thank you very much. We are over time already. We thank you very much for watching. And to my dear friend.
Thank you and your viewers,
thank
who
you
I
very
love
much
so
for
much.
sharing. And I'll see you next show.
I'm ready.
Shall we?
Thank you.
Make sure we're in a different time.
I will.
All right, thank you. Hello, my dear audience, my dear friends. You ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the East-West Show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Batali, the internationally renowned men's suit of the Italian style that represents culture, class, and fashion. And Paul, thank you very much for sponsoring. Back to the show. Today, still in the heat talking about election, we're talking about election. All right. We're talking about election, yet in a different way. We're not talking about like the mainstream quote unquote media focusing on why Hillary lost, why Trump won. Well, those whys do not mean anything to me because it's a done deal there, right? It's a done deal there. It is, well, the one we're talking about. We have a president-elect there. Good or bad, that's a reality, right? What we want to do is that we want to get serious. Like the title of today's show says, let's get serious. How? We want to get serious by looking into the president-elect, Mr. Donald Trump to find out if he's serious, how serious, to what extent, and then to his plans, seeing will that work, by what extent, and how, and when, and money, stuff like that, right? Joining me, my dear friends, my dear audience, this is my brother kind of friend.
Yes, sir.
As my godfather kind of, godbrothers kind of friend.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, godbrother, you're not that old. Mr. Ken Hemming. He is himself a writer, wonderful writer. One of his beautiful book, A Life is Simple, 100 Words to Live By, is my Bible by my pillow side.
Thank you.
So thank you for having written that. If you want to take a look at the book, though, consult just on Google, whatever, 100 words to live by, something, or Life is Simple, you would find the name Ken Hemming popping up.
Yes, thank you.
Like Joe Moloma.
Right, it'll pop up.
Okay, good. Like Himalaya. Okay, now, he is a CPA himself. Regardless, he knows, I mean, needless to say, he knows economy. He knows how money works, right? And he himself is a political commentator. He stays with the show for years after years. And last year at the traditional EDI Thanksgiving dinner, he won himself a plaque saying that the best supporter, whatever.
Honorary commentator.
Yeah, honorary
and proud
commentator.
of it. It's hanging in my room.
Oh, by the way, be prepared for this year.
I'm
EDI
prepared.
is putting up another appreciation dinner.
I love it.
Thanksgiving dinner to all our friends. Okay, back to the subject. Now, ladies and gentlemen, by the end, there is one day, I forgot whichever day, end of November, Mr. Donald Trump, President-elect, has made an announcement officially and seriously about his 100-day plan.
Yeah, October.
Yeah. I printed it out in font of number 16, and it goes very lengthy, regardless of whatever, who looks at it, 7 pages. Right? So with my friend Ken Hemming, I want to go one by one, step by step, to see how it works. But before that,
Yeah, I like that.
to Cam, my dear brother Cam, how do you feel about his plan? Is he serious?
He's, you know, he was living, Mr. Trump was living an ideal life of a wonderful family, wonderful finances, and a good lifestyle, and pride in his businesses. And he kind of gave that up to serve the American people, who he perceived as being in need of help to redirect the country back toward our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. So he's sacrificed way more than he's receiving. I don't think he did it for power. I think he did it for service. And when he gave his acceptance speech, what I really liked, he said, "We have won." Not I have won. So he is representing the people,
Okay, we.
and that's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the we, and I did like that a lot.
I see.
And you look at the map, and it's the basic people of America, the very basic middle class that elected him with the hope of returning to the America that I grew up in.
Oh, thank you very much for that comment, a very positive comment. And by the way, my dear audience, I owe you explanation of the route that I have been through. Right?
Yes,
it's
sir.
a long journey. It is a difficult journey. And if you watch this show all the time, though, you know that I used to be on the left-hand side, right? And not very strong, but I was kind of more tilted to the left rather than right. Later, when I learned more, when I was confused more, I kind of like dragged myself out and to stand in the middle of the road, which means that I exactly take up no stand, no position, right? No side,
Right.
something like that.
Neutral.
All right. Exactly about a few days before the election, I read something, and that something was really something that scares me a lot, okay? About who did something what on the left-hand side. That, of course, you may say, I'm caught by the controversy, I'm caught by the conspiracy theory or whatever. But if you put the time points Okay, to one by one, you'll find out, well, that might be true, something like that. Anyway, okay, to Donald Trump, now there's one thing I know for sure that he says exactly as what he did, that he won the election with his own money.
Yes,
And
mostly.
that, at one point, I thought, well, he's flaunting his money anyway. He has endless of money. Well, he doesn't care anyway. Now, I didn't realize the real function, the real mechanism until now. He announced that he's going to hire people from the public rather than a nomination. He will not nominate those employees as they owe, of course. When you supported me,
Right.
Okay, let Ken
Right.
Ken give me $1 million.
Right. I got to get him an
got
ambassadorship.
Ken, Secretary of Bathrooms,
Right,
or something
exactly.
like that. I give you a position of Secretary of Department of Ladies' Bathroom.
Something prestigious.
Something like
Yeah.
that, right? Okay. It's a reciprocation type.
Right, yes, sir.
Yeah, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's like that
He
kind.
has nobody to
He-
reciprocate.
I mean, the great movement, the great decision for him to do it with his own money, though, to my eye now, is a prevention for that
Correct.
corruption to happen.
For that perception.
For that, I give him a big hand.
I do
right?
too.
So above that, in addition to that, I have no comment until we go
Yes, sir.
after him. I mean, one by one. Right?
And he also just recently announced that his salary as president will be $1 a year.
Oh yeah.
He did.
Oh, that'd be good.
That'd be good.
That'd
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah.
That
He doesn't
saves-
want any change.
That saves taxpayer lots of money.
That's right.
Okay, it's better to have a rich president.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. Anyway, so he says his step number one, which is above all, that says he'll propose a congressional amendment to impose term limits on all members of Congress.
I love that.
What's your comment on that?
I'll tell you why I love it, because you've had congressmen in there 20, 30, 35 years, okay? And then you've had senators in there for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. And when you're into that system, you're not even out with the people that you're representing. I think they have failed, both Republicans and Democrats, by the way, have failed to remember that they're working for us. They now look like, I think, when they're in there so long and they're all corruptible, that they dictate to us and that they control us. And it's the People's Congress. And so I want people to go in and out. I really would rather not have them working all year, but they take a lot of vacations. The original founding fathers would be in session 3 months and then back home 3 months and doing their farms and whatever. So I like it. Now the problem is, I don't think you can you can't get these congressmen and senators to probably vote for it. And there's resistance already from McConnell.
But one thing for sure, there's every 2 years and 4 years, there is a re-election they have to run, right?
Right, but
so they got to make sure they are re-elected. So they are not sitting there for forever. Every 2 years and 4 years, and 6 years, I'm sorry.
Right.
And they have to do the re-election.
But
so
yeah.
that prevents the fact they sit there like a sloth, right? So sit there not doing nothing, and they have to work. That is prevention already. Why term limit?
I don't think it's a prevention at all. I think they spend half their time thinking, if I vote this way or that way on this, how does that impact my ability to be reelected? So they are not able to think in a pure way for the benefit of the country. They think in an impure way. What's the best benefit for them? How they act in Congress. So we need to get them out, and then maybe you can go back in after 2 more terms or something.
That reminds me of one thing. Once in China, many years back in China, I knew a friend from American Consulate General of the United States in Shenyang. His name was James. We were so close, and later we became friends. Of course, no deal, no nothing.
Right.
We just drank beer, whatever, coffee, stuff like that.
Right.
And we visited each other's house or something like that. And later I learned that he was shifted back to somewhere else.
Okay.
Right. And I learned from him that every 4 years or something, they do the shift they change,
rotate.
switch people around, like shuffle.
Right.
They shuffle the deck, the whole deck. So in prevention of
Yeah.
you're knowing people
Right.
so much that will allow you to corrupt.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. That makes sense. You know, because you really and you get them out of there. You know, move them around. They still have their talent they take with them, but they
Yeah,
don't
right.
have these personal relationships that might blind them.
Well, for a moment, I thought he was either promoted or he made
Yeah, right.
he was kind of called back because of some wrongdoing, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
And he says no, nothing, just a shuffle,
Yeah,
shuffle and a reshuffle.
I think that makes sense. I like it.
It makes lots of sense. Okay, my dear audience, we're trying to look into the plan called the Trump 100-day plan. If you go Google it, you can find it easy by giving the keywords Trump 100-day plan. You will find the whole thing like I do, a long, long test that goes for 7 pages with my friend Ken Hemming, a big supporter to the show. We're sharing the moment, analyzing. We're trying to find out if he's serious. For us to find out if he's serious, we have to be serious. That's why the title of the show is Let's Get Serious.
Yes, sir.
Right? Take a short moment out. We'll be right back.